Ready for war, Joe, how you wanna blow these spot? I know these dirty cops, that'll get us in if we murder some wop. Hop in your Hummer, the punish is ready. Meet me at Vito's with noodles, what do this do while he's slurping spaghetti? Everybody kiss the fucking floor, Joe, we crack, fuck them all. If they move, noodles, shoot that fucking whore. Dead in the middle of little, did we know every riddle to middleman who didn't do diddly. I support Pun in anything he does, anything he loves. A brother from another mother sent for the above. A thug nigga just like me, one of the best might be. Even better, leaving niggas kneeling on their right knee. Spike Lee couldn't paint a better picture. You small change, I'm blowing out your brains, getting richer. Richer with the mask. Smack a bitch, nigga, what? You getting stuck? My trigger fingers itchy as a fuck. Truck jewels, cruising in the land, pumping cash rules.
Still don't nothing move but the money.
Hey yo, strong arm that kid right there with wavy hair. Billy Johnson snatched him out his whip in Times Square. Took his Pumas, nameplate, Duke lost weight. Summer '88 started a fight at Can't Wait. Asked Dorothy, same kid, pussy up in Marcy. Blazing that Chad Rossi, up in the Marquise. He lost like 100 ounces. Jake Russ's houses, had him on the porch, ass no trousers.
Scary hours, no money out. Smash the Guinness style, play the outfield. Lucille switch cracks on chill. She's a rich fiend. Sacrifice her fans, ship them niggas to Queens. Guess jeans, he charged 35 beans. Hit the cell phone, record label, well-known tone. A Wilder Kingpin, who also slammed the Stripe edition. What up, Corleone, smoke the bone, tone foamy. What up, we tried to sling there, address him with chrome only.
From these guys, they for you, they for me and mine. This the year of the grimy nigga, rack time. Keep these niggas on the run, beat my clan emblem. Iron lung ain't got to tell you where it's coming from. Catch you swimming with these sharks now. You rap villains, we feel the same way you feeling. Let it be known, what the blood clock you niggas dealing. You crack dummies, cash rules, still don't nothing move but the money.
I'm curious, has your this was like a major litmus test, I think, for a lot of like media coverage, was like
the Rittenhouse stuff.
But I was wrong about that. Okay, so I want to correct the record. I was in fact
Wrong about that.
and I haven't seen this video yet, but it was already New York. But I was wrong about that. Okay, so I want to correct the record. I was in fact
Wrong about that.
do you still stand by? Do you feel like, I feel like when I watched the Young Turks and a lot of other people, there were a lot of insane statements coming out about how like conservatives love to kill people. Conservatives are always looking to kill people. They can't wait to kill. They're constantly looking to kill people, get away from it. Like, do you think that like this type of rhetoric or this discussion around what were like largely violent riots that were largely spurred, I think, by like bad media coverage of the oh God, what was the name of the guy? They got shot in the back several times. Yeah. It like the whole Rittenhouse saga to me was Jacob Blake gets shot. And there's bad coverage in the media about it, making it seem like he was just an innocent guy getting in the car to drive away. And then riots happen in Kenosha that get bad media coverage. You've got the CNN, the infamous CNN coverage of, fiery protests, but mostly peaceful in the background. Then you've got Rittenhouse, goes and does his thing, and then we get more bad coverage of that, in my opinion. I think a lot of the facts get misrepresented there in a lot of left-leaning media. And it just feels like we're on this never-ending train of stoking the fires of resentment, hatred, on top of misinformation and bad claims. And then at the end of the day, we all walk away feeling like we've done something good when we're just like kind of like preaching basically misinformation to the audience and everything.
Yeah. So no, I don't back away from anything I said. But again, I'm not a standard leftist, right? So and you're not either, right? You're not a standard anything, right? So for example, you support Democrat and what I would call the establishment Democrats, but you have this Rittenhouse opinion, which is a little out of left field, right?
Is it
or maybe right field? And so like I said in the beginning, I respect you for that. That's genuine. It's unique, etc. Right? So on Rittenhouse, yeah, there's absolutely no reason to go with a weapon to that protest or riot. Like if you're right and it's a terrible riot, and in a lot of ways that it was. So I wouldn't have put up the chyron saying peaceful protests as the fires are going on in the back. No, of course there was some fires, there was vandalism, there was danger. There's no question about that, right? You can't deny reality. Now, why would I grab a weapon and go in the middle of that? It doesn't make any sense. It's not even his community.
That's not true. It's not true. It's just not true.
The obvious, well, I mean, it was his community. But like the obvious comparison would be like the rooftop Koreans during like the Rodney King riots in LA. Like, do you think that does anybody in the United States have any sort of moral right to defend communities that feel attached to? Or do you think that's just something
No, Stephen. So I think those are two very, very different things. Look, you got a store, you worked your ass off for it. My dad's an immigrant. He worked his ass off. He built his own business brick by brick. And you want to protect that. I hear you, brothers and sisters. Okay, I got you. But he didn't live there. I mean, they crossed state lines.
Who crossed state lines? He drove from Illinois to Kenosha, Wisconsin. Now again, he drove from Illinois to Wisconsin. It's not like he was in his front yard and he was approached by a group of individuals who posed an imminent threat to his life. He drove across state lines in a state that he doesn't even live in, because obviously we're dealing with a 17-year-old from out of state, and then he crossed state lines with it. He crossed state lines, meaning he traveled across state lines. He traveled there from out of state, who again, traveled across state lines.
So he did not cross state lines with an illegal gun.
He was, just real quick, because I lived in Nebraska. He crossed, it was a 15-minute drive. He lived like 15 minutes away. And when you live in, I lived in Omaha, there's a lot of towns that you drive out to that you're like part of those communities. A lot of people in Council Bluffs go to.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
Because
why go there?
Well, why? I mean, like, people don't talk about it, but like the day before the Rittenhouse thing happened, there was that older guy, Robert Cobb. His business had literally been burned to the ground. It was being arsoned, and I think he was running around with a fire extinguisher trying to put it out. And people.
And what was Rittenhouse going to do? Was he going to sit there and shoot everybody that came by?
Hold on, punk. He's clear. He's clear.
I mean, he shot 3 people. I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, but that's my point. He went there to go shoot. In my opinion, he went there not specifically like, in my mind, premeditated. I'm going to go and murder some people on the left, and I'm going to feel great. No.
Sure, but
right?
but
I'm
then when you
go
look
with
at
a weapon, and if there's any kind of provocation, whoa, I might get to use it. Whoa, I might get to use it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some citation there.
Yeah, but I mean, we can say that, but when you look at the evidence, there's just no evidence. There's nothing that supports that.
No, that's 100%. Look, he goes there with a weapon. He goes to provoke. Then, why did he shoot the first guy?
He shot the first guy because the first guy was chasing him in a parking lot. He'd already made threats earlier. That's on camera, and he was lunging for Rittenhouse's rifle after a guy behind him had fired a shot with his pistol. After Rittenhouse turned around to see where the noise was coming from.
So, but Stephen, I think that you're proving my point, which is
I don't think so at all. I think it was. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me explain.
Go ahead.
So you go into this what you think is a dangerous situation. You go in there with a weapon. Then you hear a shot. That's true. There was a shot. He heard it. He didn't see where the shot was coming from. He just turned around and shot the guy.
He turned around and shot a guy that was lunging.
Reckless.
No, it wasn't reckless. It wasn't reckless at all, because he only shot the guy that was lunging for him, trying to grab his rifle. This is indisputable on video. The guy was chasing him down. He turned around. He was lunging.
Can I come to your house? Can I come to your house with a weapon, and then if you grab for it, I get to shoot you?
Probably, yeah. If you were in my house,
crazy.
No,
you
hold on, wait.
Crazy?
If you come to my house and you have a weapon on you, and we get into an altercation, I'm gonna grab that gun from you. Of course, you have a right to defend yourself, especially if I was twice your size.
My house with a weapon in the first place. What am I doing there?
Hold on. You shouldn't be in my house with a weapon because I'm on private property. The city of Kenosha was not private property. Rittenhouse had just as much a right to be there as any other protester did.
So listen, I'll give you an analogy. January 6th. I'm very upset about it. I don't like what happened there at all. I think they were trying to undermine our democracy. If I went in there with an AR-15 or any kind of weapon and I looked for a threat, I'd definitely find one. I mean, that guy you say is lunging for his weapon. From what I saw, that guy's trouble. I get it. He was troubled, I should say. The first guy who got killed, right? And so he goes, maybe he went looking for trouble too. I don't know, right? But he threw a plastic bag that had plastic bottles in it.
Wait. The plastic bag Rittenhouse didn't even see the plastic bag. The issue was but the issue is Rittenhouse was running away. This guy was chasing him, and when Rittenhouse turned around with an assault rifle, the guy went to grab the rifle from him.
No,
that's a pretty clear cut.
Stephen, if we follow, and then he got hit with then he shoots and kills someone. Then he's running through the crowd. He's made the situation 10,000 times more.
He's not making this. He's running away from. He's running to the cops to turn himself in.
You're a smart motherfucker. That's right.
Which is exactly what he should be.
The crowd is everywhere. The crowd is everywhere. He's running through the crowd, and then somebody sees that he shot someone, and they go after him with a skateboard, which I wouldn't have done, right? But now he shoots and kills the guy with a skateboard.
Yeah, because the guy's trying to assault him with a skateboard. If he had a bat, we'd say the same thing.
Steven, okay, look, couple of things. Everybody's different. Everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
So I get it. Some people will be scared, and if you get hit with a skateboard, you think, all right, I'm gonna murder that guy. For me, I get hit with a skateboard, I don't shoot the other guy.
Cenk, if somebody hits you with a skateboard in the face, there's like a 20% chance that you die. A skateboard? Skateboards are a big thing. Okay, that's great that you would, but I wouldn't compel a 17-year-old to take that chance in the middle of the month. Especially
Police say Sheldon took a skateboard and slammed the dealer in the head.
Mr. McMahon suffered a fractured skull, and he actually had a dent in his head that was 4.6 centimeters in diameter.
Well, the people that beat that one dude within an inch of his life, Robert Cobb, the day before, that everybody that went to this protest, they'd all seen videos of that. That's why people went to the riots the second day. That guy got beat to an inch of his life with bare fists.
Stephen, if you say, hey, listen, I see an altercation on the subway, the bus, the street, and I'm gonna go protect not even a family member, but a random woman walking by, working class person, and they're getting picked on, and I happen to see it, and you jump in, I got you, okay? And I actually appreciate you, right? But you make an active decision to drive into what you think is a riot and a dangerous situation with a weapon. And then you get freaked out by the plastic bag and a shot you didn't see.
Wait. The plastic bag Rittenhouse didn't even see the plastic bag.
And a skateboard, and you killed 2 people. That's on you, brother.
I'm aware of how destiny is gonna take its course, brother.
That's on you, brother.
You never should have gone there in the first place. You were looking for trouble, and then you found it, and then you cry like you're a victim? Oh, hell no. Stephen, the problem here, sorry, one more thing.
Go for it.
The problem here is that if we follow your way of thinking about it, and you tell me otherwise, of course, so I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think if we follow that way of thinking, then everybody's gonna grab a weapon, they're all gonna be in the streets, and the minute anybody looks kind of funny at you or throws a bag.
Wait. The plastic bag Rittenhouse didn't even see the plastic bag.
Or you hear something that's loud, or there's a guy with a skateboard. Boom, 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 boom. We boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. We're shooting each other to no end. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. That's why stand your ground is a disaster. And wherever they pass stand your ground laws, you have more homicides every time.
So if you have videos coming out of people who are losing their businesses, who are getting beaten by people on the street, who are rioting in a city, the next day, people are gonna show up to defend that town. Like, we live in the United States, whether we like guns or we don't, that's the reality of it. Rittenhouse had more of a right to be there than any of the rioters that were there after dark, that were setting things on fire, that were causing, he had just as much as right to be there, if not more than any other person. And the United States, you are allowed to carry a weapon on you as well. The idea that he was shooting Rosenbaum because he threw a bag at him, that's just not true. We can watch the videos a million times. Rosenbaum was already getting violent before in the night. There is no video of Rittenhouse provoking anybody ever. There is video of Rosenbaum talking to people, using the N-word, saying, I'm gonna fuck somebody up. He was the one that was chasing Rittenhouse for like 20 meters through a car park before Rittenhouse finally turned and shot him. And then the other guy was charging with a skateboard to hit him. Grossgord's charging with a pistol to shoot and kill him, and he got shot, his arm got shot. I don't see the wild chain of events where it's like, oh my God, since Rittenhouse was allowed to shoot a guy that was charging him for 20 meters and trying to grab his rifle, and then he shot another guy that went to attack him with a skateboard. Like, yeah, I mean, in the United States, with a guy with an AR-15, that's about what I would expect to happen. And I mean, we're a year or two later. It's not like there's been a deluge of shootings of innocent skaters now by young boys with AR-15. So I mean, it doesn't seem like the landscape changed very much.
No. So, Stephen, look, there's a couple of things here. So, number one, the jury gets to decide whatever they decide. And so if they decided, hey, you know what, that was enough of a self-defense, okay, that's what the jury decided. So I'm telling you my perspective on it. And I get that you might technically get away with it if it's a skateboard and you felt, oh my God, the skateboard's a little dangerous. And the guy lunging at me, you know how many guys have lunged at me in my life? If I'd have killed all of them, I'd have killed like 20, 40 guys, okay? So there's the, hey, should he be guilty? That's up to the jury. There's, should he have done that? And I think that's crazy that he went there. He definitely should not have done that. And then, so I'm gonna ask you, so do you think that 10 guys, 100 guys, I don't know, 200 guys with weapons should have gone to January 6th, left-wingers, and said, all right, we're here to protect the peace. I mean, this isn't just our community, this is our nation. And it looks like you guys are here to do a coup. We're here, okay. There's 85 of us with AR-15s. What do you think would have happened?
I mean, I don't know how many people there had weapons. It's based on what was the name of the crazy Proud Boys or whatever? It sounds like there might have been more guns than that already on the premises.
No, but there was only guns on one side. If there was guns on both sides, what do you think would have happened on January 6th?
I mean, there were police officers there with firearms that showed up, right? It's not like there was a mass shootout.
The police officers let right-wingers do anything they want. They let them walk in.
They absolutely
did not. If those guys were black, they would have gotten slaughtered. If those guys were Muslims, it would have been the biggest massacre in American history.
If that's true, then we would have seen thousands or tens of thousands of black people killed during the BLM riots, but that didn't happen, right? I don't think black.
Wait, did they bum rush the Capitol? Did they threaten to murder Mike Pence? And
no,
Nancy
but they
Pelosi?
Burned down police stations, cars, state houses. We saw it in Kenosha.
A lot of them
got many.
Shot.
There were millions of people protesting. For your statement that police officers are looking to indiscriminately kill black people, no,
I did not say that.
Well,
I did not say that.
In one of your videos,
wouldn't be indiscriminate.
Well, hold on. In one of your videos, you said that if you walked up to a car with a rifle as a black person, you would get immediately killed. And you're making it sound like if black people would have shown up for January 6th, they would have gotten killed. I mean, there was a lot of rioting for the BLM stuff. It's not like that many people got killed by the cops. So I think that the idea that cops are just looking to kill black people or black people are going to get killed for rioting more than white people, I think we would have saw a lot more death during the BLM riots if that was the case.
Yeah, let's not put words in each other's mouths, me included, right? So I hear you, but I'm not saying indiscriminately. I'm not saying cops are looking to kill black people. I'm just saying if thousands of black people or Muslim people were bum rushing cops who were trying to protect powerful people like our Congress people, tons of them would have gotten shot.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
And we can disagree on that. That's okay. You think, no, the cops will just let them walk in like they did with the white right-wingers? Maybe, but I doubt it. Okay, but you didn't answer the core question. If a whole bunch of left-wingers had gone there with weapons, do you think that would have been a good idea?
No, I generally, from all the data I've seen, the more guns in an area, usually the more fucked up shit is going to be always. Like,
okay, great.
That's just statistically, but that's up against our Second Amendment rights as Americans, right? I would almost always compel people to, but I mean, I'm also wealthy. I would compel people to leave your property if you want. When I was poor in college, I probably would have killed somebody if they tried to steal my shit if I had the opportunity to see it, because that's your lifetime's worth of that you put into buying stuff that you have. So, you know, like if black people had the ability to defend themselves during the Tulsa race riots, during the Black Wall Street being burned down, for the Koreans that defended their communities, for the Black Panthers in California that felt the need to defend their communities with rifles. I mean, if minority communities or if any community wants to take up arms and defend their community in the United States, you have the right to do that. And if I was going to come down on any side in a conflict there where people start getting killed, I would always come down on the rioters first. For Kenosha, the people that were primarily at fault were the people that were there after dark that were setting on fire. Those are the people who have the primary responsibility for everything that happened. As much as we talk about showing up to a riot with a gun and how responsible it is, Gross Squirts, the guy that got his biceps shut off, he showed up with a gun. He almost used it on Rittenhouse, right?
I might get to use it.
I suggest you keep your distance. My death flows inevitable and you're susceptible to physical injury. This music industry is full of phony executives to keep always consecutive. We also got a lot of actors who claim they bring the drama. The only way y'all get laid out is with your mama Thomas. I see the light at the end of the tunnel like one in the chamber, ready to penetrate a stranger. I love the smell of danger. Hearing the word arson isn't hard to figure yet. Gotta stop smoking MCs. Somebody pass me the liquor breath.
Be a witness as I exercise my exorcism. The evil that lurks within, the sin, the terrorism. Possessed by evil spirits, voices from the dead. I come forth with grave diggers in a head full of dread. I've been examined ever since I was semen. They took a sonogram and seen the image of a demon. At birth, nurses surrounded me with needles and drugged me all up with the diseases
I'm
of
not
evil.
intricate, you the brain cells. I withhold the main spell to cast upon you demons, plotting and scheming, dreaming about things that will never occur in this dimension. Far beyond your wildest imagination that illustrates suspended animation. I put you on pause cause you're too busy bending rules while I'm breaking laws of gravity. Don't give a damn if you're mad at me. Bust or persecuted, executed, lyrically degraded, mentally decapitated, making sure you never made it. Distance at a cone, undetectable by ears. The advantage is its own if you have neglectable fears. Sliding through cracks and crevices, no matter how tough. So fight and pray get swallowed up in one bite.
They got the backstabbers, cutthroat niggas is fake.
Hard to maintain every day.
Dealing with the
camouflage chameleon, they're just scaling your building. No time to grab the gun, they already got your wife and children. A hit was sent from the president to raid your residence because you had secret evidence and documents on how they raped the 2002. The battle still with the wolves. 6 million devils just died from the bubonic flow of the Ebola virus under the reign of King Cyrus. You can see the weakness of a man right through his iris. Rolling with the lamb, 12 tribes, 144,000 chosen. Protons, electrons always cause explosions.
Yo, concrete techniques, bomb beats and cause casualty. My faculty, hold it down like gravity, rapidly, threaten like weapons to adolescent. Ghetto residents, quick to past tense your present. State of the slum, kill 4-bladed drums, fake ones. They force with smile, the snake tongue. I'm deeper to this, I sometimes gasp for air, deadly warfare. Hot blocks, cops, and gold stairs, shots flare. Like fireworks on July the 4th. Weapons get torn. To this slide door.
Fully equipped with the mic and a spray can. I withstand any wicked plan, conjured by a wicked man. And quicker hand to snatch up. Rhyme arsonist, true spark to match up. Ciphers and flames, got nothing to lose but a whole lot to gain. So I remain the main master of ceremonial. Like Puerto Rico remains prison by colonial. You have verses over chakra curses, couldn't face my basic rhyme pattern to have you all standing in the maze. I laced the track up as if it was my Nike Air. But the all knowing MCs for underwear couldn't compare. Glare outshine, radiant rhymes bring light to the subject of lyrical content. The rhythm give a gift as God said.
You got the backstabbers, cutthroat niggas is fake.
Hard to maintain every day.
Dealing with the
backstabbers,
cutthroat niggas is fake. Hard to maintain every day.
Dealing with the backstabbers,
Cutthroat niggas is fake. Hard to maintain every day.
dealing with the